I'm on my way to Northern Virginia to meet up with my friend Brit Austin, and together we plan to visit the site of one of the state's most infamous urban legends. We're going to see the Bunnyman. Now, what do you know about the Bunnyman?
So I know that there are several different theories consisting of a bus full of insane asylum people that dropped off, and there was a serial killer to there was just a random axe murdering gentleman that decided to apparently teenagers would come here and do the dirty, and he would throw an axe to get them from not doing the dirty.
Not doing the dirty. Don't do the dirty at the Bunnyman Bridge. Really, clean up after yourselves. The story that I heard was that there was an insane asylum nearby here, and it was shut down because the residents protested. And so they were busing the inmates away, and there was a bus crash, and most of them got rounded back up, but one of them, actually no, it was two of them escaped.
I've only heard that there was one. That's interesting that you've heard that there were two.
The thing is, one of them escaped. The other one escaped, but his skinned body was found hanging from the bridge with all of the bunnies. And that's why they call it Bunnyman Bridge, because that's where they think he was hanging up the meat that he was eating.
Yeah.
Including his fellow inmate.
Right. I heard that they had found tons of half-eaten bunny corpses. Half-skinned, some not, just eaten raw, all around the area.
That's a raw diet, isn't it?
Right. What is that called?
It's not keto.
Not keto.
Not keto. All right. Well, how are you feeling? You feeling brave? You ready to do this?
I am. I'm pretty... It was a little terrifying going underneath, but...
we're going to go walk it now.
We'll walk it.
All right. Flashlight, maybe?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll take one of those.
You might like one. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're in charge of lights. I'm in charge of camera.
Sounds good. Action.
So this is the Bunnyman Bridge. This is in Fairfax, or Burke, Virginia. And you can actually drive through this. And I am joined here by the fabulous Brit. Say hi, Brit.
Hello. Hi, Brit.
Can't see. It's very dark. Oh, wait. I can fix that. Give me a minute. Cool. I'm going to blind you. Say hi, Brit.
Hi.
You know, the water running through it is like extra creepy. All right, you gonna walk through?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Make sure no cars are coming.
Make sure no cars are coming, because you can drive through this. All right, now the legend says that the Bunnyman skins his victims and hangs them from the roof of this bridge. So, we need to make sure we don't get skinned.
I will try.
All right.
Hold on to your skin.
Wow, the echo in here is crazy. Oh. Listen.
I'm going to say it's a jack-o'-lantern.
I don't know. We're going to go with jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, there's some crazy echoes in here. I'm sure the neighbors absolutely hate this, but that's okay. All right. We're almost through. Gonna lower the lights a bit so we don't disturb the peoples. Cool. And no trespassing. Well, whoops. Maybe this is where the Bunnyman gets his His water supply? I don't know.
Just a lovely little slurp. You've murdered.
You could drown them. I don't know. I'm sorry, what is that? Is that a hung corpse? I think it's
just rock.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks like something.
It looks like something's gone skinned.
Yeah.
Bones. Ooh.
This area is so pretty.
Okay, now we get to walk back through it to get to the car.
There's a lemonade bottle.
Get your anime on. Let's clean that up.
It's an original one.
Wow. Gotta say the reverb in here is absolutely insane. Like listening, I don't know if it's gonna pick up on the microphone, but it's like majorly echoey in here.
Can you try it?
Huh? Are there any spirits of skinned bunnies in here? Maybe? No?
It actually feels pretty cold.
Yeah. It's nice. All right. The fabulous Brit Austin and I went to see Bunnyman Bridge in Fairfax, Virginia. Now, it's been a couple of days since we were there. We had some time to think and process what we saw. And what would you say you saw when you were there?
So it was definitely, I think it was way more calm than I expected it to be. I expected it to be kind of gross and scary and whatnot, but it was actually pretty nice. That area. The bridge is still very creepy looking, and the most terrifying thing out there is probably the traffic, since it is a one-lane bridge, and also Nova drivers. However, yeah, it was the trees were like any part in a farm or outside. They kind of branch over and make really interesting shadows. But as far as the bridge went, it was very calm. Like there was even a stream nearby where you could just like kind of hear the calming water. It was like a meditative app or something like that.
I kind of agree. The echo in the bridge was really cool. We heard the reverb in the video. But overall, I kind of agree with you. The whole one-lane road thing was a little freaky. I think it was impressive that we didn't see any cars from the time we parked, the entire time we were in the bridge. Like we walked through it twice, going both ways. And then we like shot some more stuff around the bridge, got in the car again, and then all of a sudden there was just traffic. So that was amusing to me. As far as the overall feel, it felt fine. It felt nice. It felt peaceful. Like if anything, I feel like there was like a little bit of like anticipation, but I don't think there was anything really there. And the other thing that really kind of killed it for me is in the legend, one of the things they say is that he would hang the bodies from the roof of the tunnel, but the roof of that tunnel is smooth. There is nowhere you could hang something.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know some stories have said that they've hung it from the trees, and that seems more reasonable because those trees are more spooky than the actual bridge. I did some more research. I love me some research. There was a historian archivist who worked at Fairfax Library named Brian something or another. I'm terrible with last names, but his first name was Brian. And he, since he was an archivist, he had grown up in the Fairfax area, learned about all of this different stuff, always heard the Bunnyman stories. And so he went into the archives looking to see if he could find any truth to any of the multiple stories and the lore of it. And what he found was in the 1940s, there was a murder of a wife and child that were buried in a shallow grave nearby. Turned out the husband did it. It's always the husband. And so that was in the 40s. But then later in the 70s, there was a story in the newspaper about a bunny man with an axe that threw an axe into the car of this couple that were parking, and then skipped away.
He hopped away?
Hopped away.
Okay. That's actually a really long time gap, though, because we have like the murder in the 40s, and then our still evidently very spry bunny man is hopping away. How old is the bunny man at this point? Is the bunny man still around, we think?
Great question. It could be.
I think it's kind of weird. I don't think there was really anything spooky, ghostly, what have you at the bridge or at the tunnel. I feel like the whole place was very nice, it was very beautiful, it was kind of like you said, it was very meditative. But as a sort of displaced Virginian, it baffles me because the bunny man is what we are known for. If you go to California and you look at like urban legends of what each state is for, like I grew up in Richmond, so we had the Richmond Vampire, we had the Ghost Tunnel, we had the burned theater on Broad Street. We had all of these stories. But outside of the state, what we're known for the most is the bunny man.
It is really interesting. I think you and I were talking about it earlier, in that most of the Richmond stories are from the 1800s and colonial times. This one is more recent, but it's very interesting. It must be that it's close to DC or something like that. But I do find it very interesting also, the difference between ghost stories and an actual serial killer.
I think that's a fair point. Because most of the other stories that I've mentioned, not only was it a long time ago, but it's very metaphysical. It's very woo. But the bunny man, we have an actual police report about the one incident with the axe. We have a more current feel of it, and it's never presented as, oh, it's a ghost. It's always presented as, no, there's really this crazy person in the woods, and maybe that makes the whole thing more real.
Yeah, I think that's probably a reason why it's given so much emphasis rather than these other true stories with a little bit more lore. But who knows? Sometimes also you're talking about fires, ghosts, and then you have a man dressed up as a bunny with an axe. Like, which one is going to take the lead?
That's a fair point. Because like there's a lot of the stories where we actually have like historic data, but maybe part of what lets the bunny man legend grow is that there's kind of nothing behind it. So the bunny man is something that we as humans have made and we can perpetuate, and there's no chance of getting it wrong. So when you get told it, on the school bus and you find out, oh, this is what happened, it's not like somebody's going to fact check you and say, oh no, that's not what happened, because it's all, this is what I heard, as opposed to something like the Main Street Theater fire, where we know when it happened, we have the dates, we know what's there now. Like it's very precise. So perhaps that fluidity actually lets this fictitious story kind of take off and take on a life of its own.
It is very dark surrealism. And I think it lives more in the mind than it does in actual legend. But on Halloween night, they do have to have cops surround the bridge and make sure that no trespassers go into it. So it's still a hoppin' legend.
See what you did there.
Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Brit, for joining me on this expedition. I am certain there will be more. And to anyone out there, definitely check out Brit Austin. She is a fantastic artist, illustrator. She is available for freelance stuff. I have some of the free art. And I will put a link also down below so they can find you and pester you and ask you to draw them fun, scary, spooky things. What are you working on right now, Brit?
So I'm actually working on a more kind of geeky project right now where I'm doing positive affirmations with Godzilla Kaiju. So, we have working on Mothra right now, and then hoping to work on a lot of different Halloween projects coming up. So Victorian werewolves and all that wonderfulness. So I'm really excited to do it because Halloween is just around the corner.
Thank you very much, Brit. You are a pleasure as always.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here, and it was absolutely fun. And I'll have to come up there, and then we'll seek around for the Jersey Devil, I hear.
I do actually live right next to the Jersey Devil legend. It is in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. So yes, there are plans in the works. We shall have to make this a regular thing. Thank you, and thank you, Eclexia family, for joining us. We will see you next time.